Hey, welcome back to the channel, you guys. I've been doing a comparison and you know, remake. And today I'm doing my comparison remake to the Blob. Now I know some of you watched the 1988 Blob, and then you got the 1958 Blob. Now this is not a rating. This is just me giving you my personal opinions about both these movies and which one I prefer over the other one. So, that being said, the first one I'm going to talk about is the Blob 1958. Now, I was born in 1959, so this movie came out before I was even born. So, it was an hour and 26 minutes, and it had a 68% Rotten Tomato score. And Steve McQueen and Anita Coruscant was the main two characters. And I remember watching this movie when I was a little boy. And I was always fascinated by that little blob thing, sucking up people, you know, and absorbing people and stuff. And, you know, you're talking like back in the day. You know, them big tube TVs back then, you know. But, man, the first time I think I might have seen it, I had to be around 7 years old. You know, and I was just fascinated by that, Lost in Space, and I remember all those shows, man. You know, I was just always fascinated by a lot of those shows, you know. And like I said on some of the previous videos, you know, I always talk about a lot of old movies because I grew up at that time. And, you know, for me, I really feel I was born, you know, a lot of us could say that too. Oh, I was born at a good time. But I kind of, you know, with my group getting up there in age, you know, we came in when things were like ancient, and then we as we grew up, things got more modernized and more, you know, technology took a giant leap. So, you know, able to see quite a bit, you know. So it's crazy how TVs has changed a lot. So yeah. But anyway, the Blob came out in 1958. It's an hour and 26 minutes long, and 68% Rotten Tomatoes, and it had a 58% Metacritic. That's the Blob of 1958. Now, the second one is the Blob of 1988. Now, I remember watching this movie back when I was real young, because I graduated in 78. So that means, you know, I was out of school for like 10 years. And this was an hour and 35 minutes long. And it had a 62% Rotten Tomatoes. And 89% liked this movie, 89%. And, you know, your main characters was Kevin Dion and Shania Smith and Dublin Liet. Best way I can pronounce it. Dublin Liet. Those were the main characters in the movie. It was, you know, Kevin Dillon and Shania Smith and Donovan Liet. It's the best way I can pronounce these names. I just do not know why I cannot pronounce some of these people's names. It just seems like their names are so weird to me. It's not like a normal name, but I don't know. Maybe I just can't read, or I just can't pronounce people's names. I don't know. But anyway, this one came out in 1998. Now, I enjoyed this movie. I remember watching it a few times, you know. And I was like, man, this movie ain't too bad, you know, I said to myself. And which made me want to go back, and I said, man, I'm going to go back and watch the old Blob. Now, this is back in 1988, 89, 90, 91. So I went, you know, so I was like, man, I'm going to watch the old Blob. And then I remember watching the old Blob. And you know, you talking 1958 to 1988, there's a big jump in technology. So, you know, obviously, the technology in 1988 is way better than the technology they used in 1958. But I like the 1958 one more because my mom, man, she was in love with Steve McQueen. She loved Steve McQueen. I remember the first time I heard my mom say something about Steve McQueen, I was about 5 years old. And she goes, oh, I just love his eyes. His eyes are so gorgeous. And I was like 5, and I ran in the room to see what she was looking at. And I remember looking at the TV, and he had a series on called The Invaders. And I remember looking at him as a 5-year-old kid, and I said, man, I said to myself, man, he had a nice set of eyes. And I see why my mom, you know, thought he was, you know, how everybody got their Hollywood crushes, right? And so that's how I remember Steve McQueen. And then as you grow up, you got, you know, Steve McQueen, and then you got all the other actors that, you were turned on by relatives, not just by your mom, by other people that was you grew up around. So Steve McQueen, boy, my mom just thought Steve McQueen was all that and then some, you know. So, you know, obviously I knew who Steve McQueen was as a little boy. So, you know, then he came out with the Blob, and I remember Steve McQueen died of cancer. I think he smoked a lot or something like that. Well, you know, you guys remember Steve McQueen being in a movie called Bullet. I think that was the movie that he was in. That was a good movie. I think Steve McQueen was in that. But anyway, Steve McQueen was in that, and he was real young in this, 1958. And like I said, I wasn't born. I was born in 59. Which one do I prefer? Obviously, I prefer the 1958. I ain't gonna lie, 1988 was good too. It was good. I was like, man, this is, you know, because I was born in 59, so that means 60 I was 1, and then 70 I was, 11, and then 80 I was 21. So you tack on 21 and 8 make me be 29, I think, at that time. I might have been 29 if I add that right. Anyway, I was young. I was seriously young. Oh, the good old days. But, that's why you should take care of yourself. You should eat right. Try to get plenty of sleep. Try not to run the streets, which I'm way beyond that. But anyway, you guys, that's my little comparison. Remake of a remake from the original. The original was 1958. I love that movie to this day. I actually got that movie on DVD. And I'm thinking about buying the Blob 1988 on my VOD account. VUDU, whatever, Vodu account, which used to be Fandango. I think I might buy that today because I got the Blob 1958, I got that as a physical. So I might just buy the Blob digital, the 1988. But anyway, that's my remakes in comparison. So you guys take care, and God bless, and enjoy, and stay safe out there. We'll see you next video.